All right, I would just like to say that I would like to walk out to that intro music every time I go anywhere. It's kind of like the Big Bang Theory, but cooler and way more dramatic. Awesome. That is my Prezi. I could do that, or I could just leave it there. I think I'm going to leave it there. So, all right. One of the things that I will apologize for is I'll probably be reading this mostly. I'll look up once in a while, but I don't want to mince my words, and I don't want to lose the effectiveness of my speech, and then just kind of, walk around here a little bit and stumble and make the camera guy follow me over here, and then I'm going to come back over. Wait, no. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. But anyway, so that's my little icebreaker, so I can feel comfortable up here. Hope you guys are comfortable. So, I'm Jeff Barrett, CEO of Status Creative. It's a digital ad agency in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You may know me from such videos as the Grand Rapids Lip Dub, the Pure Michigan Sing-Along. You may know me from my Twitter account, @BarrettAll. You may know me as the guy who stole the last mini muffin, or the guy who's reading his speech off his iPhone. Today, before I get into it, I want to talk about value, and thankfully I have an equal sign up there that can kind of reinforce that. I have a bunch of other slides I can get into, and for anybody who's a visual learner, I'll be happy to share this with you afterward too, and it's available online. But for the course of this, I really don't want to distract, I really want to focus on value. So we all start somewhere. Local is what we know, where we learn. Our state is how we identify. It's what we all have in common. Oh, I was getting a phone call. That's awesome. But we all have our sights, or at least most have our sights set higher. We want to be relevant. We want to change the conversation about our state, but it's a conversation about us and us first. We can't grow our state without first empowering ourselves to grow and to work together. We're not tied to our geographic location. State is a feeling. You can achieve anything from anywhere. Liz Strauss talked to me in a Washington Times column about how important it is to understand that you're not tied to your geographic location and how you go about doing things. You can achieve anything from anywhere. It all comes down to value. Value is what we create. It's what we bring to a relationship. It's how we move forward instead of being left behind. It's that one thing that we can go into something and say, I'm confident. I know what I'm bringing to the table. I know what I can deliver. I know what somebody can bring back to me. It's, and there's that old adage that says, it's not who you know, or it's not what you know, it's who you know. I think we need to start extending that further. I think we need to start saying that it's not only those things, because networking is important, but it's also what you know about people, and more importantly, what they know about you. What are you projecting out there? What are you bringing to the table? What value are you making apparent? And then because we have a level playing field now, because anybody has access to social media, to a lot more things than we ever had, this has leveled our playing field. This leaves room for opportunity, and this level playing field empowers us. But this yields an expectation of immediate results. I grew up with a helicopter mom who told me I could do anything. And when I first got into in business and came out of school, I had the utmost confidence. But you quickly realize that you can't do things alone. You have to be with other people, and to empower yourself and to empower your state, you have to come together. And that's why you have to stop. And the biggest thing I want to stress, and the one thing I want you to take away from this, is patience. In a culture of instant results, gratification, we often make the mistake of acting before we think. Value is patience. The patience to listen, to develop contacts, to understand what your audience, your contacts need, and to see where you can apply your skills. But most importantly, value is creating points of definition for yourself. That definer, that thing that makes you unique. Keep asking yourself this question. If I can have you do one thing today, is ask yourself this question. What makes me unique? But more importantly, what can I use that unique skill to apply with? And then ask it again and again. And these points of definition are what will make people want to work with you and make people seek out and approach you. It'll give you the confidence to approach people and ask for something, knowing that you have something to provide in return. There are no unequal or unequal relationships. Every relationship, you are providing something and someone's providing something back. It's something that we know exists, we just don't always think about it. And sometimes we go right into it without thinking. The value you receive is always going to be directly related to the value that you bring. So if you go and make an ask without thinking, you're going to, it's the same thing where if you say, oh, hey, can you help me with this? And then you get the email back that's like, thank you for contacting us, and then mumble. And it's polite, but it's not getting you anywhere. If you bring the value, you'll get it in return. Simple concept, right? Right? Hey, cool. I just wanted to make sure you guys were still listening. Yeah, but again, we often overlook this. We get caught up in what we do. It's not an error. It's not intentional. We just have things we're trying to achieve. So we don't dig deeper to define ourselves. We stop when we see one possible path and begin to act. We go, well, I think I'm good at that, and let's leave it at there, and I'll start pursuing that. Remember, I said value is about patience. It's the patience to create a base at every level, local, regional, etc., a base of people that you know, a base of support, a base where you can use that created value to transfer and go further. Your first urge, once you've created these points of definition, which again I'll get into, are not easy. This is not an easy conversation to have with yourself. But once you have created a point of definition, of value, your first urge is, okay, now I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to go straight for the top. I'm going to go wherever I need to go with it. And that's not a wrong statement. It's not a wrong urge, but it has to be applied. While you're creating points of definition, you should be making contacts that make you that may help you, but never ask anything from you, or you never ask anything from. Patience doesn't mean you have to fall off the earth. It just means that while you're defining yourself, define who your contacts are and who can help you achieve these things. This is from an individual level or from a state level or however far you want to grow it out, but building from a base, that's where it needs to go. And keep these relationships open. When you're ready, you should have a base of support, and that base of support will allow you to achieve these things. Always keep in mind that that's where you're trying to go with things. My experience, to give you a little background, because I don't want to just come up here and tell you, well, these are the things you should do, and you shouldn't, My experience is I create social media groundswell designed to yield broadcast media attention. The model is to empower people, create a collective force of people motivated to share content because they identify with it. That identification allows people to be passionate about something, want to share that, and once broadcast media sees traction and sees that sharing, they're more apt to want to share something. So again, I'm not going to a relationship and pitching broadcast media. I'm going to a relationship and they see the value already. So I don't have to make the ask. I can just make people aware. And having the ability to make people aware rather than just making an ask is where you can achieve value. Again, your location doesn't define you, but you can define your location when we get back to talking about state. There are opportunities here, there are opportunities everywhere, and connections can be made, and they're in this room. They're in this room, they're online, they're everywhere you go. There's a point of contact, a point where you can make that ask. But I guess the one thing I want you to have a takeaway, because that's why we're here, right? You want a takeaway. You don't want to just hear me talk for 15 minutes, forget it, and never have anything else to go upon. When you go home today, think about the unique value you can create. Define yourself, and don't be vague. Don't ever be vague, be specific. Create an undeniable point or points of definition. Don't let that overwhelm you. It's a process. It takes time, and it shouldn't be something you figure out in a day. It should be something you figure out, define, and refine over time. You can do this. Everyone in this room has goals, has value. They're looking to achieve something. And talk to people, listen, understand how you can help each other. We're not in this alone, and we won't get to where we want to be alone. And work together to define yourself and to define your state. Our collective strength can create a creative economy of scale, so to speak, that allows us to compete globally, not just locally. And remember, again, we all start somewhere. I started here in Muskegon. I went to Whitehall High School, class of 2003, and if this lets me press the enter button, is it connected? It is? Oh, maybe? Maybe so? No? Could it go? No? I'm just going to, oh, this is fun. And cool, I have 3 minutes to go, just so you guys know. Yeah, there's that. Does it? Oh, yeah, there's this thing. I had this whole little fun thing planned, but it moves a lot. I'm just trying to get there. This might just be pointless. This is that process where I'm trying to get through this so I can make a really bad self-deprecating joke about myself to soften the mood. You do at the end of the thing. Yeah, it doesn't really want to do that. So to explain to you, I was going to show you a picture of me from high school, which is me with a, wait. Is it going now? Oh, look at this. All right. It's fun. It's going through a couple streets, local, regional, national. You get the point. That's me, but that's not the picture you want. I'm not intentionally leaving it on that picture of myself, just so you know. That's what I do. That's my company. That's my Twitter handle. Sorry, not trying to shamelessly plug, just trying to move through. And it's coming back. This has got to be the funniest thing I've ever done. It's so worth it, though. Trust me. Wait for it. There it is! Okay. But again, what I'm trying to tell you is the takeaway is value. Find out how you can create it. Find the relationships that benefit from that. And know that no matter how daunting that task may seem or how easy that task may seem, we all start somewhere, and thankfully I made it past that. So, thanks again. Do some fun.